Hello guys and welcome to this deterministic late game martial weapon crafting guide. Today's example will be crit spears, but you can use this for different types of weapons as well. You might just have to adjust some things if you want different modifiers for different builds, but generally a lot of the things we are talking about today and I'm showing you today will be true for most weapon types. So, what is the ideal weapon that we are looking for? What does it look like? It's basically, in your prefixes you have percentage physical damage, flat physical damage, and those two scale with each other, so it's important to have them both. And then for your third prefix you will either want hybrid physical percentage or high elemental damage. Then for your suffixes, in this case, we will want a high critical hit chance because it's gonna be a crit weapon for a crit build. We want attack speed and we want skill levels, which we will get through an essence. So first of all, you want to have a good base for your weapon. In this case, we will use the Akoyan spear because it has the highest critical base chance of all the spears. So this makes it the best base type. And when you're looking for your base type, you can look between a normal one and an exceptional one. You can also look to already have modifiers on the item, or you can even look to have fractured modifiers on the item. I will not go through all of these right now. I'm just showing right now I'm buying a plain weapon. But yeah, just know that there are like a few options for that. I'm going with a 2-socketed exceptional base, so that's the best I can get basically. And now we just chaos spam until we either hit tier 1 crit chance, tier 1 attack speed, or tier 1 physical percentage damage. And then once you hit, you want to add 2 mods with exalts, just random mods with tier 1 exalts, and put a desecration on the weapon, and then you fracture the weapon. The desecration cannot be targeted by the fracturing, so it's a 1 in 3 chance to hit your actual desired mod. I failed a few times and then I hit tier 2 physical percent, so I decided to fracture it and I hit. And also make sure to use divine ops before fracturing to get your affix to a high value. I will cover what to do if you hit a suffix here in a moment, but for now we will continue with this craft. So now you want to chaos spam until you hit an affix of the opposite side of what you fractured. Since we fractured a prefix, we are looking to hit a suffix. To be precise, we are looking to hit the highest level suffix that we can get and that we want. So we want crit chance and attack speed on our suffixes, and attack speed is the higher level, so ideally we are going for tier 1 attack speed here. Once we hit that, there are 2 paths. Either we exalt slam and then whittle to hit any of the remaining mods we are looking for, like damage and prefixes or crit and suffix. The downside of this is that if you hit a trash suffix with a higher level than the attack speed tier 1, which in this case would be mana on kill tier 1, you will have to annul flip to remove it. And if you annul the attack speed, you have to just start over and go for it again with chaos ops. If you hit a bad high level prefix, like tier 1 increased elemental damage to attacks, you can always just use an Omen of Sinistral Annulment to remove it. The other option would be to desecrate the suffix first and hope to hit tier 1 mana on kill there to block it from appearing, and then later remove it and add a real desecration. Since Omen of Lights are super expensive right now, I decided against this method and just chaos whittled with tier 2 chaos ops. I did end up getting the tier 1 mana suffix and I had to annul flip and I lost the flip, so I had to chaos for the attack speed again. Then we tried to whittle again, and this time I hit tier 1 crit, so that's perfect. Now all that's left to do for our suffixes is to get the +2 skills, and this is easily done by adding a prefix and eating this prefix with the Omen of Sinistral Crystallization and the Perfect Essence of Battle. Now we add another prefix and we whittle it until we hit a desired mod. I actually made a big mistake here, which is keeping the Omen of Sinistral Erasure on for the whole time I was whittling. Although this is only necessary if your prefix is a higher level than your suffix and you would whittle a suffix. So on every single time you reroll, you should check if you need the Omen of Sinistral Erasure or not. Don't be an idiot like I was here. So then we hit the lightning tier 1 and now all that's left to do is desecrate for the flat physical damage with an ancient jawbone. I only hit the tier 3 here, but yeah, I will come back to this later and go for the tier 1. So now, what if we start with a fractured suffix? In that case, we are gonna chaos spam for percentage physical damage, and this is basically non-negotiable because it is the hardest mod to hit. There's only a 0.11% chance to hit tier 2 and a 0.056% chance to hit tier 1 physical percent. So since it's the hardest to hit, we want to hit it with the cheapest method first of all, which is the chaos spamming. On average, you will need around 1785 Chaos Orbs to hit tier 1, which is currently around 215 divines. Or you need 600 Chaos Orbs to hit either tier 1 or tier 2, which is around 72 divines. Once you do hit that, you will Exalt Slam and then whittle tier 2 Chaos Spam again until you hit the tier 1 flat physical, tier 1 elemental damage or tier 1 hybrid. And then, once again, you will Exalt Slam and Chaos Spam until you finish your prefixes with your third damage mod. And remember, it is mandatory to both have high physical percent damage and high flat physical damage, since they scale with each other. Now you will just add a random suffix and eat it with an Omen of Dextral Crystallization and a Perfect Essence of Battle to add +2 to attack skills. Then you just desecrate the last suffix, which is gonna be attack speed. You're just gonna fish for that. Now I just wanna touch on another method that I think is a bit underrated right now, which is the use of Surlis Triumph. And this rune allows you to have an additional suffix on your weapon at the cost of a rune slot. So in our case, we will be trading 20% damage for a chance to get Onslaught, which is pretty worth in my opinion. Note that you need to have a 2-socketed exceptional weapon base for this step, and also note that if you're going for this, you would usually do it when you are done with your suffixes and before you go for your prefixes. I'm just gonna do it right now to show you guys. So to do that, you simply socket in Surlis Triumph and Astrid's Creativity into your weapon, and then use Omen of Sinistral Crystallization and Perfect Essence of Haste, and then you would just finish your prefixes. In my case, I removed the desecration since, yeah, I'm doing this step a bit later, as I said, a bit too late. But yeah, it's okay. I will just desecrate for my last prefix now, which is flat physical damage. If you do start with a suffix fracture, then just add the step after you added your +2 to attack skills. Add a new random suffix and eat it for the onslaught with Omen of Dextral Crystallization. If you happen to eat your +2 instead, don't worry, you can just keep using the essences until you hit both +2 and onslaught, and then just desecrate the last prefix. Also, don't forget to replace your Astrid's Creativity with a Perfect Iron Rune or another damage rune when you're done. After you're done with that, you can look to divine your stats up. I can see on Path of Building that I can reach over 1000 DPS, and of course you also want the high crit chance. Then you can also use a Val Blacksmith Infuser to get your quality up to 30%, but I won't do that for now because I might just YOLO corrupt this weapon later. But yeah, that's it for the guide. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them, and of course don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, bye.